Oh my gosh, who is it? Hey love, you know I'm joking. I knew it was you. Come on in. I'm Stacy, aka Riqochet Rose, and welcome to another celebrity tarot card reading. Today we will be taking a look at what is in the cards for Tekashi 6ix9ine. For those of you who don't know, Tekashi is in a lot of hot water, and so is a bunch of men that were associated with him. Google for more information because it is a lot of things to get into. So I'll be using tarot to address his current energy or coming energy, and then we'll take a look at his future predictions using the Lenormand cards. All right, but before we get started, if you like your own personal reading, you can even screenshot this before you. This is my business card that I made and come back to it later, but you can email me at RiqochetRoseTarot@gmail.com. All right, love, let's get on to see what is going on with Tekashi 6ix9ine. Okay, so this is Tekashi 6ix9ine's general reading, and this is just energy that he is experiencing currently or energy that is coming up, okay? Of course, there's no way of knowing unless we know him personally, so for those of you who are triggered by celebrity tarot readings, remember this is just for entertainment. Don't get in your feelings. You don't know this man and you don't know me either, all right? So let's just have fun and enjoy the reading and see what Spirit has to say. All right, so overall, the energy I pulled for Tekashi 6ix9ine is the Two of Wands in reverse. And this is an energy of detaching and focusing on self. Now, for a lot of people who consider him a snitch, of course, you know, focusing on self. Let me get myself out of this situation the best way I can. Rather, that means I have to cooperate. If I have to protect myself and my family, then that's what I have to do. So that's kind of the energy that he is in. All right. So for his current or upcoming energy, actually, I should explain that. That overall is like what is crowning him. That is like the main focal point. All right. So for him, I pulled the Page of Cups. And to clarify that, I pulled the 10 of Swords and the 9 of Swords in reverse jumped out as well. So the Page of Cups is a younger person, you know, a lot of times, and this is actually him getting an offer. Okay, so obviously him cooperating with the feds, you know, that was the offer and he's going along with it. But with the 10 of Swords, this is saying that he just feels defeated. You know, he's depressed. He can't get this situation off of his mind. But with the 9 of Swords in reverse, it's saying that he is, you know, slowly healing, accepting things the way they are. He feels like things aren't going to work out. And this is just replaying in his head, in his mind over and over and over. Now for the obstacle, and of course we know the obstacle, but according to the cards, I pulled the Queen of Wands, and to clarify that, the Two of Swords in reverse. So the Queen of Wands is an energy of trying to do the right thing in the situation, at least the right thing according to him, you know. And with the Two of Swords, to clarify that, this is a Two of Swords in reverse, excuse me, to clarify that is, you know, him making a decision, obsessive thinking, you know, these are things that it's just like a lot of confusion within his mind. Like, I'm not sure I'm doing the right thing. I think I'm doing the right thing. I hope this turns out right. You know, that kind of, I actually feel like anxiety with this card explaining this. There's a lot of anxiety and fear on his end. Now, the advice for him would be the Ace of Swords in reverse. And, you know, the Ace of Swords in reverse is usually about lack of communication and clarity, you know, and I want to say the advice here is, you know, you're already in too deep. 6ix9ine, you've already said too much. You might as well just say the rest because you already just dug this hole. It's one of those things of if he were to stop speaking now, it would still be bad for him, you know, on both sides. You know, there may be people after him. You know, the feds may say, okay, if you don't want to cooperate, then we can lock you up too. You know, it's one of those things. So it's a catch-22, but unfortunately, he kind of put himself in this situation. Now, the outcome is the 9 of Pentacles, and to clarify that, I pulled the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. The 9 of Pentacles is a card of focusing on self and things that he can change. So in the outcome, he's still going to have that same kind of energy. But with the 10 of Pentacles, it's still saying, you know, there's going to be unhappiness. He may possibly lose some money in the situation as well. There could be court fees, you know, with his lawyers. There could be people, excuse me, that can actually file lawsuits against him, things like that. But he's focused on separating himself from, you know, whatever discord is going on. And, you know, aside from the stuff that we even know about, there may be other things going on in his life that he's like, I'm going to have to cut ties here as well. Now, I'll tell you what, this is just his general energy, but I did his Lenormand reading, and that right there, that Lenormand reading, you have to check this out. So stay tuned. So, honey, in my lovely T voice, I actually got a lot of information on this case from Lovely T TV. If you are not familiar with Lovely T, head over there. I've been watching her for years. Her whole breakdown, she actually has 6 parts to this situation. So I will actually leave her link pinned in the comment section. So definitely check out Lovely T and her basically reporting on this. Sis is good, okay? All right, so this is Tekashi 6ix9ine's Lenormand reading. All right, so let me just give you a quick synopsis about Lenormand cards. They are fortune-telling cards, and this is just, you know, predictions on what can happen next, what he can expect next, okay? So the thing about Lenormand readings are one card can mean one thing, but in connection with other cards, the meaning can change completely. And so I'm not going to go through all of that. I'm just going to tell you what the card means, and I'm not going to tell you why the meaning changed because of another card. That would take way too much time. And I'm sure you're not here for a lesson. You're here for the messages. So let's go ahead and check this out. All right. So the overall energy I pulled for Tekashi is number 6, the clouds. All right. So the clouds is a card of saying difficulties are arising. And you're probably like, well, no crap, right? Obviously, he is in a bad situation. So the next card that I pulled was the mice, and this is a card of loss or theft. So someone may try to relieve him of his funds. As said in the tarot card reading, you know, he could possibly lose money. So it can go one of two ways. It can be because of the legal fees. It can be because maybe the record company, if he's attached to a record company, may feel like, you know, you got in all this trouble, we invested all this money, we want our money back. It can also be a situation where someone tries to relieve him of funds in unexpected and refined ways. Okay, this can be literally a theft, maybe something that is not really owed. Okay, so the next card I pulled is the ring. And there will be changes in his relationship. For his romantic relationship, there could be changes. So if that was on the rocks, that can actually change into something good. If it wasn't on the rocks, it can change into something bad. But definitely, he's going to lose a lot of relationships with people, with friends, people that he thought he could trust, and all of those things. Those things are going to change. The next card here is the house. And this is denoting a change or move is coming, possibly maybe with witness protection, which I think that he should really consider that. And it's also a warning to pay attention to his surroundings and look out for trouble. So I feel like he may need to go into witness protection, you know, because there are some angry people, you know, people that he probably doesn't even know, you know, because when you are a part of, you know, gangs and things like that, it's not just one person. It's just not the people that you caught. There are many people behind this. So this is something he's going to have to really pay attention to, his surroundings. Now, the next card is the garden, and this is indicating a lot of false friends around him. He may get an invitation to a social event that could be headed his way. It may be something that can be national that we'll find out about for whatever reason. Maybe a famous person will invite him just for clout, you know, not really for his own good or whatever. So something like that could be coming up. Also, with the next card being the mountain, this is still denoting dangerous people with hostile intentions. I'm not sure he knows how serious this is. I think he knows in a way because he's, you know, like, I have to protect myself. I guess I'm going to have to tell on everybody to protect myself. But I read an article saying that he actually is refusing witness protection. It could have been, you know, just a clickbait article. I don't know. But if that is true, according to this reading, that would be the worst thing he could do. There's too many people that are after him. So he definitely needs to consider witness protection because this is not a game. And with this reading, kind of seems like he will consider it. So if that, you know, if he was considering not, he need to, bro, you need to, Anyway, so the next card is the star. And this is just saying the outlook in his life could be cloudy, right? Well, obviously, yeah. And the next card here I pulled is the stork, and this is still indicating that change or move in life. So I do think that he is going to consider the witness protection program. Also, it can be an indication that he may be expecting another child. It does not have to be that, but a lot of times when I see the stork, that usually, sometimes what it is, especially with the house here in the reading. The card next to that is the lady. So there may be, I'm not sure if he's in a relationship or not, but there may be a lady in his life, or will be a lady in his life, that will be very supportive and make this transition with him. This can also indicate his child as well. That's quite possible as well. But this person will be very supportive and make this transition with him as he moves forward. Now, the next card here is the letter, and this is just indicating bad news arriving. He will have some new social contacts and a chance for a new life. So that's why I'm saying he may choose to ultimately go into witness protection, because there is this chance for a new life, a chance to start over. Good for him. Unfortunately, for the people he was attached to, they're going to be in prison. And the last card out here is the cross. And this is, his emotions. He is going to go through a depression. There is going to be quite a few misfortunes along the way, but this situation will come to an end, okay? It will come to an end. This too shall pass. And like I said, it looks like he may actually consider witness protection program, which, he better, I would, but this reading was, oh my gosh, it's scary. He got himself in too deep, apparently, and there will be difficulties along the way. So we'll just definitely have to stay tuned and see what's going to happen. But I did pull some oracle card advice for him. I know he'll never see it, but if anybody knows him, tell him, help him out. So let's see what the oracle card had to say. So the two cards I pulled for him is surrender your attachment to results. The formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen, then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. So with this card for me is saying that right now he is overthinking of what's going to happen to me, what's going to happen to me, what's going to happen to my family, what's going to happen to my life, those things keep going over and over in his head. And the advice for him here is to let it go. You've done what you've done. The only thing you can do is just sit back and wait, and possibly listen to the good advice that's around him. The other card that came out, speaking of listening to the good advice around him, is surrender your ego. Cultivate gratitude, be of service to others, and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. So if it is true that he was considering not going into witness protection, that may be all about his ego. And it's like, you better cut it out, son. You don't know how deep you've got yourself into. All right. Consider that. Or it can also be, an arrogance on his part behind the scenes that we haven't seen, because a lot of things that I've seen, with the court proceedings, he's been cooperative. So I don't know what's going on to where this would be his ego, but even him snitching, so to speak, I don't like using that term, but even that can be ego based. But regardless, there is a lot of fear here and a lot of overthinking, and he is in quite a difficult situation, and there will be some trouble, in the future, but eventually things do come to an end. Okay. It doesn't say what's going to happen. Even if the cards could predict something happening to him, I wouldn't read that, but I didn't see anything like that here. I didn't see it either way, but there will definitely be some things coming up in the future for him. And I hope that if he does go into the witness protection program, I hope that he ends up meeting people that can keep him on the positive track. Unfortunately, people that got mixed up in his situation, they're on the way to prison, and hopefully when they get out, they can have that same life, be able to turn things around and everything. So even though this is all a bad situation, he needs to consider himself lucky. Now, because of all of this controversy and everything, I don't believe everything that I hear. I always question everything. I always think that the world is trying to get us, all the masses, in a frenzy. So my question is this just a publicity stunt? The holidays are just around the corner, and wouldn't you like to gift yourself or a loved one with a personalized keychain made by Riqochet Rose? They are only $5 and free shipping to US residents. If you're interested, you can click on that eBay link that's pinned in the comment section or underneath the description box. Well, unfortunately, with the tarot card reading and the Lenormand reading, I kind of figured, yeah, this looks like it's a little bit real. And it's an unfortunate situation that Tekashi 6ix9ine got himself involved in and other people involved in. You know, possibly there could be family members who is related to him that could also be in trouble because of the poor decisions that he made. So this has to be a learning lesson for everyone. Any decision that you make, you have to consider your life and the people around you, the people that you love, you have to consider them too, okay? You put yourself in a situation that can be very dangerous, and unfortunately, other people got in trouble. Looks like he's going to be able to skip ahead, but he's going to be looking behind his back for a long time, unfortunately. Thank you so much for coming to see me today, and I do hope this video was interesting to you. If so, consider sharing this with a friend, and perhaps we can have a discussion in the comment section. I would love to see you again, so I hope you have subscribed. But until next time, love, you take care.